driving down the road and thought I would give this a shot. So for those of you that have tuned in to my national anthems in the morning, I appreciate that. Still got some coming out, and I thought I'd kind of share some thoughts from the road. I've had a few people write some notes and ask me, you know, what do you do when you're driving? Because I do a lot of driving. That is true. So I'm in the Steel Horse right now. The old Steel Horse is it's a 2022 Ford, and it's got 132, almost 133,000 miles on it. But so I'll give you an idea how much time I spend on the road. But yeah, a lot of the time is spent either listening to the radio. I'm sorting through songs that maybe I want to add to my show that people might know. And a lot of the time is just in silence, pretty much like it is right now. And the reason for that is that's where I get my song ideas. I get a lot of just general ideas that float through my head that I want to put down. You know, the road offers you a lot of opportunity to see some different things that might spawn just a different idea, and you know, give you a different perspective on a couple of things, especially going out of like bad weather into, you know, maybe a sunny day or vice versa. Maybe it even can set the mood for you. But yeah, I'm kind of new to the whole YouTube thing, and because we're coming up on a lot of stuff that's developing, I wanted to find a new way to reach out to folks. I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of tired of Facebook. I am over X, or formerly known as Twitter or whatever, and YouTube allows me to kind of do some videos, do some different things that I can look back on. There are videos that I've done that I've kept private that are reminders for me, and I'll even, to keep from overloading my phone, I'll set it to private and send it to YouTube and get song ideas that way and just sing into it, do different ideas. But yeah, just something that I do, and getting down the road. But these, I guess I'll call these maybe Steel Horse stories, since the Steel Horse is doing the driving. I'm just sitting here steering. But that's a lot of what I do when I'm driving down the road. In other cases, I'll be fielding phone calls. A lot goes into the phone calls that are made, just going down the highway, because you got to keep booking gigs. The gigs don't book themselves. I have a fantastic agent, and she is like burning up the phone lines. Val Clark is an angel to put up with me and all my varying idiosyncrasies, so to speak. But I feel like I'm a pretty easy artist to book. But there's a lot of stuff coming up, and I want to tell you, you know, while we got a few folks on here, I want to tell you a few things that we have coming. You're going to get the opportunity to be a part of a record, and I figure why not? And you also get to be a part of some upcoming videos. That's going to be a little further in the future, but these are things that are coming down the pike. And for an independent artist like me, doing it yourself, you do everything yourself. You are your own photographer. You're your own, you know, publicist in a lot of cases. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, we do what we can, and but one way that a lot of folks could help me out is listening to my music on Spotify or on Apple iTunes. But we're getting ready to fire up a Patreon page that will have some different tiers. We haven't decided on all the things about the tiers yet, but we are going to put things together. And yeah, we're just going to see what happens. And all that money that comes in on Patreon is going to go directly towards getting things put together, money put together for the record, the upcoming record. So I've got a lot of stuff written for it, and I feel pretty confident about the rest of the ideas. Going to be going up to Nashville to write with a couple of buddies of mine that I've written with for decades, actually, and put together some new ideas. It may not be bluegrass, or it might be a mixture. It could be all bluegrass, it could be all country, or it could be a mixture of both, maybe a little rock and blues. That's kind of where I live in my head, so that's something I like to do. But no, this is what being on the road kind of looks like for me, anyway. There is no big tour bus, there's no bus driver, there's no band that I have to get all the charts out to. I just have to make sure that I'm well rehearsed and ready to go for the road and for shows that we're setting up. But I love this life, and for anyone that's thinking about it, I've had several different ideas thrown at me about YouTube channel things that I can do to support up and coming artists or new or younger artists that are trying to do what I'm doing. I have the unique opportunity to have had a springboard for it. Not only being in Nashville for 10 years and being a songwriter there, but also working for the Navy and singing for my supper with the Navy. That was a very unique opportunity, and I feel very privileged to have got to do that. Learned a lot of good lessons, for that, and that's been very very helpful in a lot of ways, believe it or not. But there's a lot of younger artists that are coming up, and even though the game has changed, digital streaming has changed the way you make money and the way your income comes in, the way music is released, and all those things, you still have the basics. It starts with the song. You have to have a great song, and that's what everyone strives to write, hopes for, and I do. Every song I sit down to write, I hope is going to be the next big thing that I tout on my record, or maybe someone else hears and they want to record it. That's something that hasn't happened for a little bit, but you just never know who's listening. You never know who's in the audience. You never know who's watching on YouTube. You never know kind of who's there and what they might be able to help you with, or what they might guide you to. But one of the ideas was to give snippets of maybe things that I've done wrong and kind of the right way to do it, as far as the music industry goes. If we got into the life side of it, there'd be a lot. It'd be a little too much, actually. But I'm still on the right side of the grass, and I'm rebuilding. But those ideas are kind of floating around in my head. It's been, for those of you that haven't caught up with me or don't know a lot about my past, I spent 22 years in the Navy singing for my supper. I was the lead singer for the U.S. Navy band Country Current up in Washington, D.C., and that was a great privilege. I got to meet people that, wow, it's unbelievable. And I just feel so privileged to have gotten that opportunity. But now I'm out here on my own, and last year we had a big setback. We were booking, we were looking forward to larger theaters, larger venues, maybe doing some opening for different people. And with that, I was pushing really hard. And I also was not handling my stress correctly either. That took its toll. And I ended up in a life-threatening situation in the hospital. And that has been a year. We'll be coming up on a year, March 15th. Actually, here in just a few days will be a year anniversary of, me dying. So, and all the gigs getting canceled. So now we're starting over. And starting over is not easy. Getting the ball rolling. People didn't know really who I was before. They know even less about who I am now, because I've had a year off and I've not been doing anything as far as performances, really. And I've had a lot of great friends, a lot of promoters that have helped. Man, if you're a bluegrass fan and and you don't know about Danny and Krista Stewart's bluegrass festivals, you need to find out about them. They're phenomenal, and they have been great friends of mine. Have understood what I've been going through and encouraged me in the healing. That's been amazing. The city of Miami, Oklahoma, the city of Pineville, Missouri, the city of Joplin, all my hometown back in Rocky Comfort. That's been, wow, my home state of Missouri for that matter. They've been understanding, and they've been willing to work with me in a lot of different kind of odd situations where I can still get up and perform, still do what I love to do, and keep me going. And because of their faith in me, I feel good about getting back at it. I'm still, right now, you know, even though I've got a lot of years of doing music under my belt, I'm starting over. It's a reinvention, if you will. I look back at artists that I look up to for that reinvention, and particularly Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers reinvented himself over and over and over again, and was successful at it every time that I know of. I don't know of a time that he wasn't, and so he was just phenomenal in rebounding, and that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to take notes from that. You know, I don't know that I'll ever be a Kenny Rogers or anyone like that, but I love entertaining folks, and I hope that people see that. I hope that they know. Got a few comments coming in. I'm sorry, I'm driving. I can't read them. I would love to be able to read them, and I appreciate you tuning in and just listening to me jabberjaw. But spitting out some ideas here, and the whole Patreon idea. We want to give some folks some behind the scenes stuff, some insight, and to be a part of a record. And what I'll just give you the idea in my mind behind that is if someone is a part of something, they're more apt to tell folks about it, and I love that. You know, when I'm a part of something and I'm proud of it, I want people to know. So I figure if we could find a way to get folks involved in being a part of a record, because that's what I do music, or being a part of maybe a street team or something like that, to get the word around to different people about performances that we're doing. I'm focusing a lot on Missouri right now, not only because it's my home state and that's where I'm from, and that's where I love to be, but for those of you that aren't aware, I wrote a song, called Missouri. And thankfully, this wonderful senator, Joe Carter, she kind of took the bull by the horns, and she wrote a bill that initially we went after the possibility of a Missouri state song being the new Missouri state song. And I'm going to be honest with you, I love my state, but I don't like our current state song. Is that bad to say? I'm sure it was wonderful for the time, and oops, hit a bump, didn't we? I'm sure that was great for the time. Times change, and and someday, if I get the privilege of my song becoming the state song, I'm sure times will change again, and that's fine. But right now, I just think that our states can, and this goes for any state. Every state should have a song that talks about what goes on in the state, things that you would find interesting, or history that you find interesting. There's so many things, and there's a lot of stuff that we want to do video-wise later. But back on the subject of Missouri, I tried to write a song that talks about the state that I love, and I've got a couple of new verses that I need to add to it. I didn't miss on purpose. I missed a few things, but not on purpose. You got 3 minutes or so to keep people's attention on a song and pack as much as you can into it. And thankfully, on the recording that we have right now, Miss Rhonda Vincent, I wrote a verse just for her at the end, and I am so thankful that she took the time to do a vocal on it, and I'm so privileged to have her be a part of that record. We actually released it on Hope It Grows, and you can find that on Spotify and iTunes, and also at KennyRayHorton.com. But yeah, the Miss Jill Carter, she had put forth a bill, and then we kind of rearranged things because a lot of folks have utilized the current Missouri State song the way it is, and including Mizzou. Mizzou does the Mizzou band up there does a fantastic rendition before each ball game, and it's still ingrained in the state. But we backed it off, and it is a current bill on the in the Missouri legislature right now to become the new Missouri State the official Missouri State promotional song. And cross your fingers. I'm hoping that it passes. I think we have a good chance. I know it's been brought to the attention of the Missouri Board of Tourism and the Lieutenant Governor, who is over the Board of Tourism, and we have Governor Kehoe, who's a huge veteran supporter. So, all these things lining up, I'm very, very hopeful. But we need more people to kind of tout it and let other folks know, and that's what we're doing. We're focusing on the state of Missouri right now. We're trying to book any and every venue we possibly can. If I was playing 7 days a week in the state of Missouri, telling people about the song, that's what I would be wanting to do, and that's what my agent's trying to do. Poor Valerie, she is she has the daunting task of finding the routing, which she's excellent at, but she's finding the routing and all the stuff that goes into booking stuff like this. How she keeps it all straight, I can't even fathom. It's amazing. But yeah, we're looking for every theater, whether historic or modern, it doesn't matter. Wineries, breweries, any place that people gather that we can get a small audience together, do a show, and obviously, the shows aren't free. I wish I could. I wish I could get out and play shows for free. I can on occasion, but to get the Steel Horse down the road, to keep equipment up, to pay for hotels and fuel and all that stuff, and advertising, there has to be a fee. So we have to work that out, and that is, I'm so thankful that I have Valerie Ford, my agent, that takes care of that, and she works out the contracts for that. But that's what we're focusing on right now. We're not leaving out. Just because we're focusing on Missouri doesn't mean that we're leaving out the surrounding states. I'm still available to be booked coast to coast, just like always. As a matter of fact, I've already been twice coast to coast within the last 3 months. So it's not all been about gigs. Some of it's been about family, but I love being out there. I love seeing all the different things this country has to offer. But right now, our focus is staying within the Midwest. Obviously, Oklahoma has, for being I refer to myself as a Missouri mule. I did find out recently at a gig that I did, the national anthem at the Missouri Fairs and And I found out that when you say you're a Missouri mule, it means you went to university up at Warrensburg. I didn't realize that. All the things that I do know about Missouri, there's a lot that I don't know, and I learned something else right there. So I like to say I'm a Missouri mule because, you know, you got to show me I'm stubborn. That's what I meant by that. I did not go to school at Warrensburg. But as I say, being a Missouri mule, I love that our surrounding states, our sister states, brother states, whatever you want to call it, they support me as well. I've had some wide open arms from the state of Oklahoma, particularly starting in the wonderful city of Miami. Bless Parker, man, if you see this, Bless, I don't know how to thank you enough for everything that you and your staff has done for me and kept me going. The entire city has showed up for me when I've opened the stage out there. I was privileged enough to get to open the stage for Ricochet, my buddy Heath, and the guys. What a fantastic show! If you haven't seen their show, they work very, very hard on their show. They put it together tight. The harmonies are unbelievable, and I look forward to maybe being out on the road with them at some point. Who knows? Maybe I can come open their shows. Hey Heath, what do you think? But Arkansas is which I'm driving through Arkansas right now. I'd love to get down to Arkansas and do a few shows. I know there's a big festival down in Bentonville throughout, I forget what time of year it is, but even up in Illinois, there's a lot of friends of mine up around the Decatur, Illinois area, up into Chicago, and then Iowa. I've made some great friends in Iowa, Clear Lake particularly, in Mason City. Just fantastic folks out there. I still need to get out to Goodland, Kansas, and make good on a promise out there. So there's going to be a lot of road time in the near future, and I'm looking forward to it. A lot of people say I get so sick of traveling and bag dragging. You know, the bag dragging part I don't really care for, I'll be honest with you. And when I'm able to take the steel horse or the stagecoach with me, that's my fifth wheel. But when I'm able to do that, it's kind of nice. You know, you pull up somewhere, drop jacks, get in, your house is right there. It's the same bed you sleep in and the same place you get to go home to. But even when it's not, it's, you know, I've learned how to pack pretty light, pretty easy, and keep things simple. And the steel horse gets me there. And matter of fact, the steel horse is going to get some love this week. Needs the oil changed, a lot of filters changed, possible brake job, all the transmission, all the fluids and stuff, because we're hoping to solidify a lot of the contracts we have out and a lot of the hopefuls that we have going. But yeah, so these are the things that run through my brain when I'm going down the highway and keeping it between the ditches. But and a lot of songwriting too. But yeah, when it comes to promoting the song Missouri, I'm really excited about that. We're looking into the possibility of doing a video with a lot of y'all's help, and I'm going to kind of spill a little bit of the beans on that because it's something you may have to think about. And we want everyone who's either lived in Missouri, been to Missouri, or is particularly from a town in Missouri. We want to know what that town is and what your town is famous for. I don't know if you know this, but Chillicothe, Missouri is the home of sliced bread. That's the first place that bread was, not that bread was sliced, but you get a sliced loaf of bread. That's where it first came from. And the waffle cone, I think it's the waffle cone, was created for the World's Fair in St. Louis. And so there's a lot of different things. Ernest Hemingway was a writer for the Kansas City Star. Walt Disney was from Missouri. He was a comic strip artist in Kansas City. Bass Pro Shops headquartered in the state of Missouri. Roadhouse is actually based on a town in Missouri. So there's a lot of interesting things like that, little nuggets. So we want to hear from folks, and I'll let y'all know when we're going to put that out officially. That's just kind of a dropping a bug in your ear for what's coming. So if you know some things that your town is famous for, well, let's take for instance, I went to high school in Anderson, Missouri. Dabbs Greer. If you ever watched Little House on the Prairie or The Green Mile, Dabbs Greer was an actor in both of those, and many other things, but I'm drawing a blank on what those are right now. But Dabbs Greer, I couldn't believe it. I went to high school with his granddaughter, Alexis, and so it's just our state is, I'm very, very proud of our state. We've done a lot. We've accomplished a lot. Gateway to the West. I mean, come on. The westward expansion started right there, in our state. The largest trout hatchery, I believe. I think I'm getting this right. Someone's probably going to correct me, but that's okay. But the fish hatchery in the world, I believe, the largest trout fish hatchery in the world is right here in the southwest corner of Missouri. And so we've got a lot to be proud of. And, Silver Dollar City, yeah, some people think of it as just another theme park, but that was the first theme park where I got to see somebody blow glass for the first time, and make knives from raw steel and things of that nature. You know, our heritage, our things our culture has within it. And sorry, I'm a little bit distracted. I'm making sure I don't miss my exit here, getting ready to take one. But there's so much to be proud of in the state of Missouri, and Mark Twain, I could go on, but I won't. I don't want to bore you. But that's the reason, actually the reason the song was written was Rhonda Vincent at a bluegrass festival encouraged it. And she was going to, she told me how she was getting ready to go see then Governor Nixon at the time. And we were at the Gettysburg Bluegrass Festival in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And first time I really got to meet her and talk with her. And so she, kind of encouraged it. And so I asked her, I said, if you like what I write for the state song, would you consider singing on it, with me? And she said, sure. And sorry, I didn't think it would be this tough, but yeah, and she's the reason that I even started thinking in the direction of writing the song. But then when I sat down and really got to writing it, I got to thinking about all the wonderful things that we have in our state. And like I say, I've got 2 more verses that I'm working on to expand it a little bit, because it's things I didn't miss them on purpose. I knew they were there. I just couldn't fit them in with what I did originally. And so that's kind of how it got started. And now we're in the promotion stage of it. It's released on the album Hope It Grows, and actually got a communication from from Senator Carter this past weekend, and it looks like I'll be going up to the Capitol to play the song live for the legislators at a gathering on the 21st of April that we're having, and I hope that's not secret, but I'm very proud to have the opportunity to do that. And I'm also thinking about ways to get out and do the national anthem a lot more for folks. When I was in the Navy, I would get a lot of requests from NFL football teams, Major League Baseball, hockey teams, and all that, and particularly Minnesota Vikings, Dallas Cowboys they contacted me one time, and they were willing, for it to be sung the official version and do it right. I'm not the only one that can do it right, but I like to pride myself in the national anthem that I do, and they would take care of me and pay me to come do the national anthem at these football games. And so I'm looking for ways to do those national anthems out a lot more, and in doing that, me being from Missouri, me having the song that we're trying to hopefully someday make the Missouri state song, I'm kind of being an advocate for my state. And so that's the idea behind all that. It's a method to a madness, I guess. And I don't have a marketing degree. I don't have any of that stuff. So I'm flying by the seat of my pants and learning as I go. And social media is a blessing and a curse. I'm thankful to be able to get my national anthem out to people who enjoy seeing it in the mornings. By the way, if you haven't mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again, if you haven't seen the national anthems in the morning, I'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me. That's actually, once we gain a certain number of viewers and a certain number of people subscribing to the channel, that becomes a monetized thing, and you're able to help me get the money together, put these albums together, to hire great players. I've made a lot of wonderful friendships over the years, and I'm going to get away from the Missouri subject right now, but get more into some of the Nashville stuff that runs through my head. I've made all these connections with Nashville players and artists, and I never want to abuse that. That's a privilege to have these friendships and people that are talented in ways that are specific and that will help you, and you can help them, and it becomes a symbiotic thing. But you know, pedal steel players from, you know, Paul Franklin was kind enough. You know, when someone gives you their phone number like that, I mean, that's amazing. He is unbelievable, and he was so kind to me and allows me to stay in touch with him. And just people like that can play on the record, and it also lends notoriety to your music as well. And I want to be able to pay them appropriately, and to do that, well, it takes money. So that is the idea behind monetizing the channel and getting up to a certain level to where YouTube will actually pay you for the videos you put out. And it's not all about, you know, my face being out there in front of somebody. It's, you know, when you write a song, you want people to hear it, and you want it to touch them emotionally, and you want them to enjoy it. And that gets all the way back to the writing of the song initially, the pre-production, the production of the song, and the players that go on it. And I want to be able to treat the players and engineers and everyone involved. I want to be able to treat them right and pay them for their time. I think that's only appropriate. You know, I wouldn't ask a plumber to come in and do something for free. So I'm not about to not at least offer to pay for their services. Now, I've got there's a particular band who won't take any of their services. They are a phenomenal banjo player, wonderful instrumentalist, fantastic entertainer, and she knows who she is, and she won't take money. She won't let me pay her for her time, and she gives it willingly, and she always does a fantastic job on my recordings, and I just can say thank you and give her a big hug. That's, you know, she's a wonderful human being too. That adds to it. And most of the people I work with, I think, honestly, I'm thinking right now, I can't think of anybody that I have on my lists of people I want to work with in the industry that aren't wonderful people. They're just kind, generous people that they want to see everyone succeed, and that's the kind of people I want to be around. And so monetizing the channel, doing the Patreon, you know, it'll all go directly to the record. So when we get all that stuff put together, so we're probably going to put the Patreon members from the state of Missouri. If they're a Patreon member, those will be the folks that will, you know, get their stuff put into the video. And that's just a incentive. It's not to be mean or, you know, to keep anybody away from it, but and it won't be a lot. Maybe $5 a month or something like that to be a part of it, and to also be a part of the records, and to be affiliated with it. But there's a lot that goes into it, and putting this stuff together. It's for independent artists. It's not cheap, and so you get out and you gig, you pay the bills, you have overhead to cover, but in the long run, you want to make that record, and you want people to enjoy it and be a part of it. But so yeah, I have spitballed for no telling how long. It seems like I don't know, probably about 80 miles. Who knows? I haven't looked at the time, but these are some of the things that run through my head, and they're always going through my head. I'm always trying to come up with new ideas. You know, how can I give benefit to people who want to invest in my music? How can I do something for them that they don't mind saying, yeah, you know, hey, it was only $5 and this is what he did. You know, that I want it to be a beneficial thing for everybody, and a lot of the time I'm a little over giving. You know, I guess I'm a poor businessman. There's two parts to music, or there's two parts to the music business, and that's music and business. And I'm not the best at the music, but that's what I love to do, and that's where my heart is. And so the business slips, but I'm still able to get out there. I've been blessed in a lot of ways where RV communities, because I'm a full-time RVer. I live on the road, and it's like, yeah, would I like to have a house and a place to come home to? I kind of do in Missouri. You know, that's my dad's place up there, and that's home. That is home for me. But literally, home is where the jacks drop. It's life on the road, and don't get me wrong, it has some drawbacks. Like right now, I'm dealing with a heater that's gone bad in my RV. You know, it happens. It's bouncing. You know, basically, it's a rolling earthquake for a house that's going down the highway. But it's a great way to be out and meet people and see things and live this dream that I've got. My dream's a little different. It's changed over the years. You know, once upon a time, I had that dream of being that, you know, huge superstar and buses and the more I found out and the more I learned about what that really was, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Would I turn it down if it happened? No, I'm not a fool. Because what that does is allows you to get your music out to more people and affect more people that might get benefit from your music. Music is a healing thing, or that's what I hope for it to be. thank you for hanging with me. And I look forward to you hitting the website, seeing where I'm going to be, and tune into those national anthems and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. In the meantime, I'll see you somewhere out on the road. I'm Kenny Ray Horton, and now you're going to see me fumble for the first time to figure out how to turn this off. So here we go. Yeah. Let's see. I know I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, here it is.